Okay, so after the preparatory stage, we have acetyl-CoA, which I'm going to put it over here. It would really be inside here. That's the Kreb cycle. So it's inside the matrix, but I'm going to draw it over here. All right, so we have our Kreb cycle, which is also called the citric acid cycle. Right, so again, we have our acetyl-CoA, which is here. And just for simplicity's sake, I'm going to just like leave all the numbers. So we're just going to go through the reaction, and then I'll go back in and double everything. So I'm just going to take one molecule of acetyl-CoA through. So we have our chaperone here, who's going to pick, who picked up the pyruvate, got rid of one carbon, and now we're down to 2. And then it's going to attach to a molecule that has 4 carbons called oxaloacetic acid. And it's going to combine, so 4 plus 2 carbons is going to give us a 6-carbon molecule called citric acid. Okay. And then the coenzyme A will go back to the intermediate. Right, so again, the enzymes will be used over and over and over and over. All right, so again, I'm just going to kind of go through the important parts of the citric acid cycle. The first one will be to go from our 6 carbons down to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have our 5-carbon molecule, and of course, again, we lost that carbon as carbon dioxide, and at the same time, when we strip off that carbon, we're also going to pick up electrons. So again, here's our redox reactions. And then we're going to go ahead and do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have our 4-carbon molecule. Lost our CO2. This is all that CO2 we're exhaling. And strip off some more electrons. So we went from citric acid to basically to a molecule called alpha-ketoglutarate, and then we also, this is what I mentioned the name of this molecule, which is succinate. Now we have an additional little reaction that takes place here. So what we're saying is we have enough energy. This is an exothermic reaction, so we're going from a higher energy state to a lower energy state. We have enough energy that we can actually have a little bit of our phosphorylation going on here. So we actually can put, run out of space here, we can actually put on a molecule of a phosphate molecule onto ADP to make ATP. So we have a little additional thing going on there. Now we're going to kind of go all the way around, take this around, and we still have 4 carbons, so we don't lose any carbon dioxide, but this molecule is called malate. And the names again are more for my purpose to keep track of where I'm at. At this point, the difference between succinate and malate is that we actually are going to, I'm going to do it here so you can see it a little bit better. We're going to take a different electron carrier called FAD, and we're going to strip off some more electrons here. Alright, so we have our FAD, and then there is one more important, again, I'm just doing the important stuff. So there are all kinds of intermediate steps in here. But for this course, we just need to know the idea of the Kreb cycle. And actually right here, we're going to pull off some more electrons. And again, I'm not even getting technical. technical by putting the NADH plus H plus, which, you know, again, if we wanted to be technical, we're also getting an additional proton. Alright, but I didn't want to get into that much detail with you guys. I mentioned it in class. And now we're back to oxaloacetic acid, which is where we started from. So we started with 4, we introduced 2 atoms here of carbon, we released them as carbon dioxide, and we stripped off the electrons. So basically the main point of the Kreb cycle is to pull off electrons. And we're pulling off the electrons from our sugar molecule, which again we talked about was made by our plants and did the exact opposite. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take all these electron carriers that we have filled up, and we're going to do some work with those energized electrons.